Hey, pussy, are you still there?
I actually admire that you can actually be this fake. And like when the TV comes on, how you can just change. You're the scum of the earth.
Don't doubt me, I couldn't do it. The odds that I couldn't do it. Look at me now. Never knew. Pound for pound. Headshot dead. That's it.
There's guys out there that are doing this day in and day out. They live and breathe this stuff that they don't get the recognition or credit that they deserve.
What is the secret to fighting?
Not being a fucking pussy. Honestly, you can teach anybody how to fight. But like, if you're a fucking pussy, that's a really hard thing to teach someone not to be.
Yo, what's happening?
What is up, Murky? How you doing, baby?
Good, man. We're here for episode 55.
Let's go.
That's
a double nickel.
I know. Double nickel here for 55. We're recording this on Super Bowl Sunday, so when you listen to this, you'll know the outcome of the game last night. But we are recording this right now. It's currently 1:39 Eastern on Super Bowl Sunday, so we got that to look forward to in a little bit. But right now, we're talking about last night's fight night, and then I think we're going to get into a second part here where we get to preview UFC 298. We're talking about Volk and Ilia Topuria. But, man, last night, Hermansson Pyfer, UFC Vegas 86. Give me your initial thoughts. What are your initial thoughts post fights? Thinking
Post fights, I did not. First off, the card in general was entertaining as fuck. Besides that main event, I mean, dude, I switched up my bet a couple times, and I didn't have Pyfer winning, and I thought he was gonna get subbed. But dude, I did not expect anything like that to go on. There's a lot that we can talk about with that. I mean, shit, I'll jump right in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, so I know we talked before the fight, me, you, and Dirty, and I mean, Pyfer is a fucking beast. I mean, that's what he is, man. And even after watching what he did last night, I still feel the same way. I still feel like he won't lose that attitude standing up with anybody in that division. I feel like his ball's gonna get taken away. That dude is gonna scare everybody in that division someday or now. Currently in the first round, second round. I mean, dude, standing up with him you got to be scary. It's like, he kind of reminded me of Danny Henderson back in the day. If he catches you with that overhand right at any time, it's fucking lights out.
Yeah. Or that left hook. His left hook is fucking clean as well. Yeah.
Dude, he's a beast, man. And he has so much power, man. And the only reason I changed my bet, because I was like, you know what? I'm going to really dive into this. I was like, I have not seen him go the distance that much times at all, or ever.
He's never been 5 rounds ever. He's only been to the third round once.
Really?
In his entire career.
Okay, see, and that just makes it make even more sense. So I was worried. I'm like, this is a vet he's going against. This guy has fought everybody. He has put up a great fight against everybody, man. And I feel like I mean, dude, I've sparred people like this before where I'm scared shitless for the first 2 rounds. But if I can survive those first 2, third, fourth, and fifth will be mine.
Yeah.
And that's what I was like, you know what? I think there's going to be a sloppy takedown attempt from Pyfer. If he gets gassed, he's getting caught in a sub. So I had to sub the whole entire time. But no, man. Fuck no, man. It went the distance. And I mean, God, dude, that was wild. I thought Pyfer had it in round 1. I thought he had it.
Too.
I thought it was going to be completely done. But then the second round happens, and you see a little momentum switch. I'm like, all right, this is going to be good. And then 3, 4, and 5, man, all day, dude. I mean, shout out. That was impressive. You want to keep that ranking? Well, you kept it. You earned it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. A couple thoughts. Obviously, I'm high on Pyfer. I'm still high on Pyfer.
Yeah.
You know, you and me were fucking around with the thumbnail for the YouTube video before this. A good time to plug. Anybody that's listening to the episode, if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, drop a like on the video, share it with your friends, tell your grandma to watch it. Any of your favorite fight fans, man, because that's what we are. We're fight fans. So anybody that's a fight fan, like the video, subscribe to the channel, download the episodes, whatever you need to do. But so
please,
I saw a lot of stuff last night, afterwards, today, especially, next day, the fraud alert right on. He got fraud checked. He's a fraud. He's that. Yo, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, respectfully. This man's a fucking killer.
Yeah.
He's still a killer. He let's put it into perspective, right? He's 27 years old. And I think we're losing sight of like how young in the UFC and MMA game that actually is. Because most guys aren't really in their prime till 32, 33. We're seeing Volk still, you know, arguably in his prime at 35. You know, 27, he's still young in the game, and you just, you know, he wanted to test the water, see where he was. He just found out. He didn't get starched either. Like, people are talking about Joe Pyfer like he just got fucking fleeced by Hermansson last night. That's not the case. That's not what happened.
No way.
It was a
fight.
We watched a scrap. We watched a fight. We watched the smarter, more experienced fighter win in the later rounds of a 5-round main event. That's what we watched. And I think this is such a good experience for Joe, and I think Joe comes out after this. I still think he's going to be a problem. At 27 years old, there's a lot of room to grow. I don't think this is like a Dominic Reyes situation to where we watch him hit this terrible skid now. I have the fraud shit needs to stop. We're clickbaiting it.
Yeah.
But everybody else needs to shut the fuck up. We can do that, but everybody else shut the fuck up.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, like, you can't compare Pyfer to everyone else that's been fraud checked. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't even think, like, Paddy Pimblett is even close to being on that level. Other fighters like that.
Yeah, well, they
like,
haven't fought anybody. Who have they fought? We're gonna give Paddy a pass because he fought Tony Ferguson on whatever losing streak he's on. Like, that's not. Are we really still saying that that's a test for Paddy?
Yeah,
the fight that should have been made 2 years ago is a guy that we're about to see next Saturday, who's dabbled at lightweight a little bit, and what we should have saw Paddy get thrown to the fucking wolves 2 years ago, and saw Paddy and Ilya Topuria. If that fight ever happened, it was talked about, and if that fight had ever happened, people wouldn't even be talking about Paddy today. His career would be over. He'd have quit the game crying. Ran back to Slim Jim Molly with his tail between his legs back to fucking Liverpool or wherever the fuck they're from.
Yeah, dude. He'd probably be the number 4 ranked fighter in the PFL.
Yeah, right.
I mean, dude, there's see, that's a hype check. I mean, Paddy can win a fight and then you can call fraud alert on that. It's like, dude, you barely won. You did that shit. No, this guy Pyfer has everything it takes to become an insane top 5 fighter for years to come.
Yeah.
Most of these fighters, like you're saying, they don't peak till like they're fucking 31. I always find like that's the age where a title run's about to start at 31.
Yeah.
Dude, Rashad Evans is one of the best light heavyweights. It's fucking blessed the sport. And he says, dude, Pyfer is next.
Yeah.
And even watching Pyfer lose, guess what? Pyfer is still next.
I agree.
He's still next, man. And it's I love watching it. He came out to 3-6. I was like, what the fuck? Let's go. And his story's amazing.
That was Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, right?
Yes. I always get them reviews.
I had a little bit of I was cracking up here, and me and Joel were obviously texting back and forth last night during the fights, and I'm sitting here at my computer watching them, and he comes out to Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, and like knowing both of you guys are you know from Atlanta and the Georgia, I was like, oh, they're gonna fucking love this,
dude.
And then 2 seconds later, the text comes to my phone. He's walking out to Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. You know, dude. I was like, fuck yes.
He's badass, man. And the thing is, so he's been on. There's been hype around him, right? There's some people take hype as pressure, and some people don't take it as pressure. Well, if you have hype around that, and you have a guy with a background as hardworking as he is with taking an L, that shit will not happen again.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that shit won't. And I'm stuck with my bet, but dude, I was like, what is going on here, man? It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah, I lost some money last night. We let some money ride on Pyfer. I lost some money last night, but I'll take that L like a man. It is what it is. I just want to put this out there to the internet, to the world now. Still fucking riding with Joe Pyfer. I don't give a fuck.
100%.
You know, it just makes me sick, dude. I've seen too many people on the internet from last night into today, immediate reaction after that fight, that before the fight were on his nuts, like he's the greatest thing since fucking Muhammad Ali. And then, 30 seconds after the fight's over, do a complete 180 and just turn their back on him completely. That shit's fucking corny. The dude's either got it or he doesn't. He definitely does. A loss like this doesn't mean anything in the long shot of his career, or the long term of his career. So I think that we can still expect a lot of really good things from Joe Pyfer.
Absolutely, man. And that's middleweight. Is it middleweight or?
That is middleweight. Yep.
Middleweight. Man, I honestly, man, what I was thinking in my notes was like, if Pyfer wins, man, I'd love to see him fight like Vettori. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a good matchup for him.
Yeah.
And it'd be a matchup where he could catch him. So just because he lost this fight doesn't mean that he doesn't have the potential that he could have taken a top 7 fighter, top 5 fighter. I feel like he has that same swagger and that same, listen, I'm going to scare you for 2 rounds. And now that I lost like this, now you're going to be scared before. His condition is going to go up.
Yeah.
He's going to be scared to bang with, bro. I feel like every middleweight should be scared to bang with him still.
Yeah. I mean, I think what we saw didn't seem even necessarily like a conditioning issue. The leg kicks obviously played a big factor. That changes everything, right? Like if you can't move the same way you were in the first 2 rounds because your lead leg is compromised, that changes everything. Then he got punched directly in the eyeball to the point to where he thought it was an eye poke, and that kind of compromises. So I don't.
That was scary.
Yeah, I don't know if it was necessarily a conditioning thing, but I agree. I think that he's going to learn a lot from this. I think that. Yeah, I think we're not going to see that kind of thing again. And to your point that he could still fight those top guys, I agree with that too, because we saw him fight a really, really, really experienced veteran last night, one of the most experienced fighters in the division, arguably, who's good everywhere. His striking is great. He's a very cerebral fighter, Jack Hermansson. Like, he's extremely smart in the way he approaches the game. His jiu-jitsu obviously is unbelievable. That's well known about him. But like, that makes for a tough matchup for a less experienced fighter. If he were to go up against a higher ranked guy, but is more one dimensional, like a Vettori's more of like a wrestler and kind of only a wrestler, his striking isn't quite there. I don't know that it's the same thing. He's not going to have to worry about the same weapons and being attacked the same way that he was able to be attacked by Jack Hermansson. So Vettori's a really good wrestler, but Pyfer's also strong as shit. I don't know, so I think the matchup plays a big factor as well.
I mean, it does. It does. And by the way, I haven't said this yet. Shout out to Hermansson.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. What the fuck? Dude, the whole world had you played to get knocked the fuck out. The whole world did, man. And I think he knew that. He's been active for over a year. And, dude, he had some very, very insane-looking strikes, man. Corkscrews, crazy stutters, Supermans, weird kicks. Like, he was just making sure he was going to connect no matter what. He knew what he had to do. He's fought someone like Pyfer before, and that's why he's like, all right, I know how to do this.
Yeah, I know how to beat this guy.
That's a scary person to fight, man. If you're just sitting there and just skeptical about getting fucking rocked by any punch. This dude's throwing fucking knockout punches first 2 rounds in a row, man. Fucking jab.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing. Hermansson's jab in the later rounds was just vicious. I mean,
beautiful.
Pyfer couldn't do anything. He would go to step into range to where he could start throwing some of his weapons, and he just gets a crisp jab right to the face. I mean, he was getting beat up with Hermansson's jab, which kind of it goes to show. Like, we talk about, a lot of people talk about it all the time. Boxing people, especially. I know me and Joel have talked about this, like the jab not getting utilized enough in MMA. And you definitely, in the last couple pay-per-views and over the last year or so, you see it used a lot more by people with boxing bases. And then you see Hermansson use it. It's like, it's such a strong weapon, especially to stop somebody from pressuring you, right? When Joe Pyfer is night and day a different fighter when he's pressuring versus when he's getting pressured, right? So when he's the one walking forward, he's unbelievable. On the back, he looks extremely uncomfortable. So if you're able to stop him from moving forward with a really crisp, hard jab, which Hermansson was landing the entire time, it changes everything. It's these little nuances, man, like that within the fight that's just like, I fucking love this shit.
It's beautiful, man. And the thing is, like, that style of fighting has birthed the champion, Sean Strickland. I mean, that, like, let's fucking utilize this jab. And then also, if you got such a good jab, you probably have a great straight left. And talking about the performance of the night last night, dude, with fucking Carlos Prates, whatever, dude, what the fuck? That dude comes in there, man, and it sit there a straight left, and it just fucking booms his ass.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, dude, that was a sick fight, man.
He was losing that fight, too, against Trevin Giles, right? I felt like he was losing.
100% losing, man, and he gets, I think it was fight of the night, or no, it was performance
They got a
of the
performance
night,
bonus. Yeah, I think there was 4 or 5 performance bonuses given out last night. Well deserved.
Man. He set it up perfectly, man. He was like, all right, this guy is definitely more aggressive than me. I'm going to straight jab him and hopefully be able to get him in the left. But what he was doing, he was baiting him with the knee the whole entire time. I was like, what the fuck? He's baiting him with this knee. And then all of a sudden, that's a perfect setup. Even the analysis, the commentator of the fight was like, I just learned something new. I'm going to bait with the right knee and close to the left straight when they're coming in towards after that because they're mad.
Right.
That shit was beautiful, bro. That's why I got it. That was beautiful, man.
Yeah. There was a lot of really good fights. I think it got kind of like a bad rep or a bad rap last night on Twitter too. I was kind of looking through the feed and people were talking mad shit, but I mean, like, so the first leg of our Over the Octagon parlay me and Dirty put together was Brad Tavares, Gregory Rodriguez to not go the distance.
Oh shit.
And
all right.
So obviously Gregory Rodriguez wins by KO TKO in the 3rd round, 55 seconds in or something. So I had text Dirty. I'm watching the fight. I text Dirty. I was like, fuck, dude. Like, parlay's busted on the first leg. I thought for sure it's going to decision. And then out of nowhere, fucking RoboCop, Gregory Rodriguez just like turns it up.
RoboCop.
Turns it up, dude, and just goes psycho on him and just and gets the finish over Brad Tavares. That was fucking crazy. That dude is huge for middleweight.
Man, dude, you know what he reminds me of? The bad guy from 300. Were those big ass, or even the Mummy?
Xerxes.
Yeah, Xerxes. Like the Mummy too. He's sitting there, a big ass, tall, smacked up, bro.
Yeah,
huge man, and dude. That knockout, like that stoppage was like almost halfway exhaustion, halfway TKO, tap out. Like this dude, he's sitting there just curled up against the fence, just getting drilled. The refs like this guy can barely stand up.
Yeah, he was still up, but barely, and he ate like 3 right hands to the jaw perfectly, and the ref was like, yeah, that's it, we're done.
That was manpower.
And then
natural light.
When we did not talk about the co-main yet either, 50K Dan Ige delivering with a first round knockout against Andre Fili.
Man, I've always liked Fili, especially after his last post-fight interview about the fake booty Latinas. But I like him, dude. So I'm about to roast, I guess. You're going to be 5'11" in that weight class and have a record like that, bro. I don't think you train hard enough. I don't think you fucking put in the work hard enough. I think you're too busy on getting tattoos and a great ass haircut. I got your haircut right now. I feel you, dog. But get better, dude. Like, honestly, dude, like, if you're that big and you're not utilizing the skills that you had to do nothing to gain, I don't respect it, man. Like, I like him. He's cool. Whatever, dude. That shit, dude. And they knew each other. They fight with each other. They spar with each other.
Right.
He knew what the fuck was going down to.
He did. I think they trained together. And I didn't know this going into the fight, but they talked about it on the broadcast a little bit last night. I guess there was some bad blood there because Dan Ige, I guess, felt some type of way that Fili wanted to fight him and took the fight because they're training partners. But it's professional game, man. What are you supposed to do?
It's weird. It
But
was weird, man.
he definitely knew how to beat him. It was pretty clear, with a knockout in the first round like that. Feely threw the jab and he threw the overhand right over top of it and just sent him to the shadow realm. And then he added one. He added one when he was on the canvas.
Hey, what you think about that?
Oof.
I was like,
I mean, I don't. It's like I'm a firm believer in fight until they tell you to stop, because that's the game, right? Like until the ref says don't, then fucking keep hitting him. And so, he knocked him out, knocked him down, whatever. I don't know if he was out, but he was definitely out after the one when he hit him on the ground. He bounced his head off the fucking canvas.
yeah, man, that was my moment. I was like, what the fuck, man? So I know their teammates have done this before. There's definitely a lot of bad blood. It's more than that. Like, I think there's a lot that we don't know about. Filet's probably trying to holler at his big ass Latina girlfriend, but
Maybe.
But dude, I think it's so hard to stop a punch when you're going in like that. But there was a brief pause where he dropped him and still delivered it. First off, the ref sucked. He was like holding his dick.
Right.
Dude, I think that he knew the dude was out cold, man. I know there wasn't a stoppage, but like before that, but I mean, come on, dude. That your teammate was fucking gone.
Yeah, there was a little brief, very brief moment before he threw that second punch when Feely was flattened out on the canvas, to where I think he thought about it for a second, like, is he out? And it's like, oh well, bam, like now he is.
Yes.
He kind of put the exclamation point on it.
Absolutely, man. Like when I spar Dirty, when I drop him every time, I just point instead of hitting him on the bottom.
Yeah. Maybe that's what he should have done.
Right? Dirty Bird was living his best life last night, dude. He was in a hot tub with 2 different TVs with beers, just sitting there watching the fights in the country after riding 4-wheelers. I was like, God damn.
I know. Yeah, he was in some backcountry redneck heaven last night, fucking having a good time. He started tweeting. Like, I don't know if you saw those messages in the group chat.
Yeah,
he started tweeting from the Over the Octagon account, and I get my personal Twitter, I'll get the notifications from the Over the Octagon account that they tweeted. And I got like 6 notifications in a row that all appeared to be, at first glance, the same tweet. So I was like, what the fuck is this motherfucker doing? He's like sending the same tweet. So then I'm looking at him and like, he kept fucking up like one letter or number somewhere. So then he would delete it and then resend another one. And then he deleted it and then resend another one. And then, like, he finally sent the last one, and he put hashtag UFC Vegas 68. And that's when I texted. I was like, yo, you dumb ass. Like, you sent that shit 4 times, and you still got the hashtag, like, holy shit. So, yeah, he was definitely having a good time. This is, this is cool that we're doing this, even though he's not here. This is the first episode officially of Over the Octagon that Joel is not on.
Oh man,
crazy!
I was saying, Joel, honestly, you should take another week off. Let us handle the big one. He's like, no, dude, I would drive home for this Volk fight right now. Yeah. I swear to God, no matter what. So you guys will be expecting something because Joel has a lot to say.
Yeah,
per usual.
He's gonna say shit just to try to piss me off.
He's so good at that.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like, so we had talked about him not being here. It's like, cool, you and me are gonna, we'll wrap and kind of run this episode, and then I think he was cool with it. And then like a couple days later, he's starting to think about it, and he's like, nah, I'm not gonna just like not say anything about UFC 298. Like, I'm not gonna miss. So he's like, I got to get, we got to record a different date, or we got to do something else. So we'll probably end up doing like an impromptu kind of extra episode, or maybe mini episode with Joel, to where he can, give his preview and thoughts on UFC 298. And basically it'll be 30 minutes of him sucking off Alex Volkanovski, I'm sure, and how great he is.
We're going to be twin head and Vulcan.
Yeah. But man, listen, I mean, this fight lasts fight card last night. I mean, we've highlighted a lot of the main points. The other person I was really impressed with that was on the main card was Ihor Potiera.
Okay. Yeah.
He fought the guy making his UFC debut, Robert Brycecheck.
Yeah.
Brycecheck had a lot of hype on him too coming in. I think he had like a pretty significant knockout streak, and he was the favorite going in. Potiera was coming down a weight class from light heavyweight to middleweight. Still missed weight by a pound and a half. Brycecheck was the favorite, and then did he get kicked in the nuts or poked in the eye? It was like there was a lot of that going on last night, so I lost track.
There was a lot of split decisions as well, man. It was a card.
So, and then Brycecheck looked good in the first round, and then Ihor Potiera just fucking beat his ass the last 2 rounds, man. He looked very, very good. He's going to be at a new weight class at 185, coming from 205. I expect him to have some success, and he stopped the hype train last night as well. So Joe Pyfer's not the only one where his hype train got kind of put on hold and docked at the station last night, because Robert Brycecheck made his UFC debut last night, had a lot of hype around him, was a favorite going in, and just looked like he didn't really match up very well with Potiera and the experience he had. Other than that, we saw Michael Johnson get back in the win column with a decision win over Darius Flowers.
We're giving someone their flowers today, and it's not Darius.
Right. The Iowa boy, Darius Flowers, couldn't get it done against Michael Johnson.
He's a beast, man. He's he's beating Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
He's beating people, dude.
His
he's
resume
solid.
Is crazy.
Yeah, man. He has a winning shot to beat anyone. I know he's actually circulating over the internet now. Good.
Yep.
It's well deserved. He has beat some fucking beasts,
Yeah.
bro. And he's lost to some no names as well. He kind of
right.
Honestly, dude, I know a lot of athletes like that, especially ones I've trained with. Me, especially, man. I would fucking go toe to toe to anyone, then all of a sudden lose to a no name the next week. I'm like, all right. But one more guy in there, that Ruflo Vieira, man.
Yep.
It was his 6th fucking arm triangle victory.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
One-dimensional, I get it, but the thing is, what he does works. He's gonna be at best a top 10 fighter, top 8, 9, 10. But he's kind of one-dimensional in that. He did win. It was sick. It was manhandled, but that's what he does, man. He arm triangles you.
Yeah, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So, like, if you're on this streak and you're able to submit everybody, I'm sure he has other submissions. Obviously, his ground game is pretty good, but if he always is able to get to that position to be able to submit people, then kudos to him. I mean, he fought Armen Petrosyan, I'm pretty sure is a kickboxer or more of a kickboxer, who also, like, contested that he didn't tap, even though, like,
yeah,
remember?
It was
so like he tapped twice.
Oh, it was double. Okay.
Yeah, I think he like tapped twice, but I think he was like going out as he did it, and then he kind of woke up, and then was like, "What the fuck? I didn't tap." And it's like, you did though, right?
Yeah.
And I that was in tight. That arm triangle was in crazy tight. I think if they didn't stop it there, you would have been waking him up anyway.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
he can contest the shit all he wants, but he wasn't about to get out of it.
What was he gonna do with the rest of that? I mean, dude, you're fucked.
Right.
You're fucked. And he could have done so much different things to fucking finish him. Besides that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I guess the legitimate reason to contest that would be there was 12 seconds left in the round. So maybe in his mind, he could have held out, but it seemed like watching it, and it seemed like the way the broadcast team was talking about it, like he was unconscious or going out, and it kind of stopped and brought him right back to where that's why he was so shocked. I don't know that he really understood what happened, but it was 4 minutes and 48 seconds into round 1, so there was 12 seconds left in the round.
That
Rodolfo Vieira just squeaked out a first-round finish, but yeah, choked the shit out of Armin Petrosian.
I mean, dude, the thing is, I think he was definitely tapping. I mean, that's his move. When it's tight, people know it's tight, apparently, and they fucking go to sleep.
You could tell. You could definitely tell. Other than that, I mean, the prelims, there was a lot of good fights on the prelims also. We didn't start out the night great. It started out with a no contest because he kicked him in the nuts. They each kicked each other in the nuts twice. There was an there was all types of fouls. And
it was
Key
fucking
Lang,
weird.
However you say that guy's name, Lang Ori.
Zilangrai.
Yeah, that's a good enough guess as any. Went for like a jumping knee at the same time he threw a kick, and the kick like got underneath. You know what I mean? So I think that was a deep one. They ended up. I saw today that they sent him to the hospital to get there's some X-ray or MRI thing they can do to your testicles. So praying for that, man.
Oh my god.
Praying for that, man, because that sounds and just feels horrible.
Hopefully you didn't pop a ball.
That's the worry, I think. Other than that, we had the guy that looks just like Anthony Smith, Bogdan Guskov.
Yes, holy shit, that's his doppelganger.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking Nightwalker from Game of Thrones. Or maybe like a like a fucking zombie or a vampire. I called him a vampire.
He's an energy vampire.
Yeah, but he won by first round KO as well. And then
that was cool.
That was awesome. He looks good, man. He's 15-3, light heavyweight. Light heavyweight division is definitely kind of open when it gets into the lower rankings. So,
it may be the most open, man. Like
it's better than it was a year ago. I think when you bring in like Alex Pereira, and you have, Erie is healthy and Jamala Hill's healthy and stuff like that. But there was a point in time, maybe a year and a half ago for sure, that it was the weakest division by far. So, I think now it's kind of on the ups. But Bogdan Guskov, you fucking vampire motherfucker, looked great.
Bogdan, you Stranger Things looking ass.
But yeah, man, I mean, I don't really have anything else. Do you got anything else you want to talk about for Vegas 86 before we get into the real subject of the week, which is UFC 298, Alexander Volkanovski, Ilya Topuria?
Bro, I'm there. I'm ready. I'm so ready.
Let's do it. Let's sign off on this episode. We are going to drop a two-parter. This will be the end of the first part. If you guys are watching this one, make sure you check out episode 55, part 2, which will be UFC 298 preview. And like I said earlier, if you're not already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, download the episodes on Spotify, Amazon, anywhere you listen to a podcast. Like these videos, share them with your mom, your grandmom, your step aunts, your cousins, your ex-girlfriend. Send them to your ex-girlfriend. Whatever you guys want to do, but be on the lookout for part 2.